What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise.
Listen to me! Pomodoro la Comquit! What?
Despicable Me 4 First Look. In recent years, the Star Wars brand and the Marvel Cinematic Universe have had no problem confirming several years' worth of planned blockbusters, confident that enough will be commercial successes. In this video, we are going to talk about one such franchise, Despicable Me, and discuss what Steve Carell has to say about its return and everything else, including their other members joining the franchise from the sets of Fast and Furious and Jurassic Park. Despicable Me, which debuted in 2010 and was produced by Sergio Pablos, immediately took a worldwide audience by storm, with the initial response to the first film heralding the birth of a brilliant cartoon series with tons of promise. So, when the sequel, Despicable Me 2, surpassed all box office forecasts, fans and reviewers recognized just how powerful this new series would be. Universal Pictures has revealed a new installment in the Despicable Me franchise, and Despicable Me 4 is causing quite a stir. The $3.7 billion franchise has evolved to become one of the highest grossing of all time. Sequels and even spin-off prequels are constantly released every 2 to 3 years, ensuring the series' popularity. In addition to the Despicable Me films, themed books, video games, and short films have been released. Despite the pandemic, the franchise thrives with the highly anticipated release of Despicable Me 4. Gru and the Minions in particular were so engaging and humorous that they virtually transcended the film form and became their own cultural phenomenon, with the Minions themselves having already generated 2 spin-off movies, the first of which, Minions, grossed over $1 billion at the box office. Before moving further, do not forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon for future updates. Numbers like that more than support production company's optimism, with the 4th Despicable Me picture and 6th in the franchise formally confirmed by Illumination CEO Chris Meledandri in 2017. So, now that that particular sequel has a release date and nearly 6 years have passed since the film's announcement, here is everything we know so far about Despicable Me 4. With its new villain, Balthazar Brat, played by Trey Parker, Despicable Me 3 enjoyed a massive theatrical run. Following the success of the film, Illumination CEO Chris Meledandri discussed his ambitions for the franchise's future. Although Meledandri believed that developing animated brands could be difficult, he considered Despicable Me 4, which was already in the works at the time, an exception. Despicable Me 4 has officially been granted a release date, with story specifics promised by Steve Carell himself. More information on the upcoming film Despicable Me 4, including the remainder of the cast and story, can be found in the later part of this video. When will Despicable Me 4 be released? Back in February 2022, it was formally revealed that the release date for Despicable Me 4 would be July 3rd, 2024, just 2 days before the Lion King prequel, Mufasa: The Lion King. Already, the summer of 2024 is building up to be a tremendous one for the movies, particularly sequels, with Despicable Me 4 adding to the enthusiasm. Despicable Me 4 will have a full theatrical release on the mentioned date, much like its predecessors. There has been no word on a streaming release for the picture, but given that Universal Films typically stream on Peacock, it is quite likely that we will see Despicable Me 4 on Peacock sometime after its premiere. So whether you prefer going to the cinema or remaining at home, there should be a watching choice for you, unless, like Quentin Tarantino and his son, you're just a fan of Despicable Me in any capacity. There is currently no trailer for Despicable Me 4 because the film is still in production. With the release date still a year away, Universal has plenty of time to continue its amazing track record of delivering fantastic trailers for its upcoming films. Meanwhile, you can watch the most recent Despicable Me film, Minions: The Rise of Gru, on online platforms including Amazon Prime. One of the many elements contributing to the massive popularity of the Despicable Me franchise has been its casting, with a long list of Hollywood superstars already contributing to the series. Out of the 3 Despicable Me parts, which have you seen thus far? Personally, I prefer Despicable Me 1. Which is your favorite? Please let me know in the comments. So let's talk about casting. Unfortunately, we do not yet have a complete cast for Despicable Me 4, but we have received some casting confirmations. Of course, Steve Carell reprises his role as Gru, the most beloved cinematic villain of all time. By the way, guys, who is your favorite villain of all time? Mine is and always will be Megamind from the Megamind. Let me know yours in the comments section. Along with him are Kristen Wiig, who plays Gru's wife Lucy Wilde, Miranda Cosgrove, who plays their adoptive daughter Margot, and Steve Coogan, who plays Silas Ramsbottom. Nev Sharel and Dana Gare are scheduled to reprise their roles as their other two daughters, Agnes Gru and Edith Gru. Despite not being officially confirmed, both Edith and Agnes have been highly hinted at, with Steve Carell himself stressing Gru's children's relevance to the future film. Of course, there have been many more outstanding performances in the series, and fans will be hopeful that their favorite characters and actors such as Will Arnett as Mr. Perkins, Russell Brand as Dr. Nefario, and Julie Andrews as Marlene Gru will return. Topping the fantastic tales of the previous films is no easy task, and one that has been entrusted to writer Mike White. Although there is no official storyline summary for Despicable Me 4, many people are guessing about what the impending sequel might be about. Because the most recent film in the franchise, Minions: The Rise of Gru, is a prequel, we don't know what kind of narrative direction Despicable Me 4 will take. Despicable Me 3, the most current installment in the franchise, ends with Gru's twin brother Drew, also voiced by Steve Carell, taking command of the Minions while Gru and Lucy return to the Anti-Villain League, implying that these positions will serve as the foundation for Despicable Me 4. It's reasonable to assume that some heinous world-conquering scheme is in the works for a new supervillain, with Gru and the crew rescuing the day by any means necessary. According to Carell, the Despicable Me 4 narrative would see Gru and his family fighting together in the Anti-Villain League. It's next in the chapter in the story. Gru and Lucy are married, they now have a family. It's the next step in their world with the Anti-Villain League and how their children are involved in the whole thing, The Office actor stated. Stay tuned for future updates if you want to stay up to date on any Despicable Me 4 storyline material. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Here's a handy guide for those of you who want to see all of the Despicable Me movies in chronological order, just in time for the release of Despicable Me 4. The majority of these films are available for rent or purchase on Amazon and other online video stores, with the exception of Minions: Rise of Gru, which is also available on Netflix. Here's the chronological list along with links to watch each movie. Minions: The Rise of Gru, Despicable Me, Despicable Me 2, and Despicable Me 3 are all animated films. Which of the Despicable Me characters is your favorite? I really prefer Gru, even if he is the villain. Which character is your favorite? Let me know in the comments area. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you at the next one.